So you've been trying cold email, it's not working, messed with subject lines, you've put in images and GIFs, you've done everything and it's still not working. The cold email landscape has changed. I'm going to show you the secret to getting the cold emails to work, how to get your perfect prospects to reach out to you, schedule demos, and close more sales. All right, so here's the thing. Cold email still works, and it works really, really well. But trying to close deals and get prospects using just cold email is kind of like trying to fix a car with just a screwdriver. There's some things that are going to work with the screwdriver, but there's a lot of stuff that isn't. What we do in the SaaS Accelerator is we combine email with a few different mediums. Cold email is one. We use LinkedIn, video, email, video. Through something like Cloud App or Loom. We use direct mail, and we also do cold calls. Now that might seem intimidating to you right now, but it's only intimidating if you feel like your job for your initial contact is to sell something. And that's what most people do, is they will send out an email that's full of all this amazing stuff that your product does, and then with 3 different calls to actions and all this stuff, and the respondent, first of all, doesn't have time to read an email from someone they don't know. Second, there's just way too much in there to read, and most of your ideal clients are really busy people, and they want you to get to the point. And 3, that's not how executives talk to each other, especially if you're trying to start a conversation with someone. And so that is the key. I'm going to show you today what the 4 key elements of getting cold email to work. All right, so in the SaaS Accelerator, we have this program. We have lots of frameworks and systems that we implement for SaaS companies. One of them is called the Dream Client Catcher. And I'm going to zoom out and show you the whole thing first, and then we're going to dive into the specifics for this first topic, which is start a conversation. But as you can see, there's other ones too. Being okay with no, focusing on a niche, reaching out to cold prospects, getting the demo, framing your new mechanism. We're just going to go over this first one today, which is start a conversation. So I don't know what it is about cold email or outreach in specifically, but we get in this idea that we need to put out every last piece of information we can into a cold email, hoping that just one thing attracts our ideal customer, gets them to respond. That's a huge mistake. You should look at any cold outreach as the ultimate, or the primary goal initially is to just start a conversation. Okay? If you just change your whole mindset from, instead of trying to sell in your first initial outreach, just start a conversation, and here's how you do it. First is just talk like a person. I've seen so many cold emails and cold outreach where it's just terminology and testimonials and case studies, and it's very formal, and it's like talking to a business person. People just want to connect, and they want to have a conversation. And so, especially when you're talking to executives, the best way to do that is just talk as if you were talking to a person. So instead of, "Hello, Joe. Hope you are well today. Among all of the things that are happening, the reason I am writing to you today is because I believe that we can blah, 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 blah." Like, no one talks like that. So the way that we write is we'll just put Joe dash. We help XYZ companies solve this problem without the thing that they hate. So we help CBD companies get more online sales to their store without having to increase ad spend or hire a marketing agency. Would it make sense to chat? That's the whole message. That's the whole thing we send out. Now later in the cadence, because we have 14 messages that we'll send out over a period of 2 months, and we change that a little bit, but the basic messaging is the same. We just want to start a conversation, and we want to talk like we were talking to a person. The next thing that you're going to have a lot of success with, if you follow, the next key is choose a market segment to go after for cold outreach. One thing that we do is we look at all of the top clients that we've served, and we identify what is a client that we've solved a huge pain for, and then let's just go talk to more of those clients. If it's ConvertKit did this really successfully when they were first starting out, is they looked at their current clients, they decided that they had a really good product for bloggers. It just solved problems for bloggers that bloggers had. So they reached out and said, hey, we have a tool for bloggers. Here's some top bloggers that are using it. Wondering if you'd like to give it a shot. And that was their whole messaging campaign. And they didn't. Now, you can't scale that infinitely, but if you need revenue and you want to scale growth quickly, pick a market segment you know you can solve a problem for, and then just get an answer, a yes or no. It's okay. It's okay to get a no. In fact, it's awesome to get a no, because often they'll tell you why they're not interested. We were working on a campaign for a client, and we got a no. It said, no, we already have a marketing agency. In the message, and in the initial message, we just said, hey, we help you get, we help stores get more online sales. And they responded back, well, we already have a marketing agency. Thank you so much. So that was like this great piece of feedback that we got, because the next message that we sent out, or the one that we tweaked, was we help you get more online sales without having to hire a marketing agency, right? So we can, the more we fine tune that messaging through yeses and nos, the better. I continue, if I go after a specific market that I know I can help, that I've pre-qualified, I continue sending out messages until I get a yes or a no. Now, for some people that might sound crazy, and it is crazy if you're reaching out to people who you don't know if you can help. But if you know you can help them, then getting a message, getting either yes or no is okay. The last thing you want to do is you want to promise a clear result, a meaningful result that you can deliver for a client. Here's the difference between a meaningful result and a fuzzy platitude result. If you email someone and say, hey, we have a CRM that helps you keep track of more of your leads, can we talk? That's kind of like a fuzzy. It's better than most, but it's still kind of fuzzy, right? If I'm an entrepreneur and I'm trying to keep track of leads, what is a very specific result that you can promise me that doesn't necessarily, it doesn't have to be a big result. It doesn't have to be we can help you close 20% more deals, because that's what everyone's saying. Everyone's promising these big results. If you promise a meaningful result for me as an entrepreneur who's trying to manage deals in a CRM, for instance, might be we help entrepreneurs keep track of leads without connecting a different tool or spending hours in a CRM, spending hours inputting data, right? The meaningful result for me might be not that I don't want deals to fall through the cracks, which is what everyone is saying. It's that I don't have time to put in the data after each call, and so your tool solves that specific problem. We keep your CRM up to date, and you don't have to spend hours updating it every day, right? That's a meaningful result that you can promise. All right, so that is part 1 of the Dream Client Catcher. I hope that was helpful for you. The big takeaway here is stop trying to fit everything into your initial outreach. And this start a conversation, same thing goes for LinkedIn, for Instagram, for direct mail. Hey, this is a problem that we can solve. We do it without having to do this. Would you be open to chatting? And that's it. Now, you can use this technique for pretty much any relationship that you want to start with an executive or anyone, really. So if you want to grab this whole mind map here that I have, that I showed you, you can grab it for $7. It comes with all of the videos, and then I also include a bunch of templates and resources and frameworks that you can use to get started with this. If this has been helpful for you, I would just be thrilled over the moon if you would either like, share, or comment. Especially comment if you have questions. I'd love to come in and answer those for you and help you start having success with your cold outreach. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you later.